So today we're getting a little kinkier as we talk about latex on Not Safe for Wednesdays with Lo-Fi and Mika Dunt. And today we have a special little guest, Annie, joining us to help explain the joys of latex.
Perfect. We started a little early, but that's fine. Fine,
Yeah.
5 minutes before. So,
You know, girls always wind up coming early.
Yep.
yes.
So can you like lead us in? I don't know that much about latex. I don't use it that much. Other than, you know, the general rubber that goes around a man.
Yeah, so yeah, hi to everyone who doesn't know me. I'm Annie. I've been in the chats and stuff. I For me latex is kind of a well, it's a um kind of a kink to me, so it's kind of lighter stuff. But amazingly, I've been dating two guys who've both been into like heavy rubber things, and it's there's kind of different levels of the whole fetish. So like starting with uh latex fashions, which is basically dresses, clothes, things like that, and then it goes to like the other extreme is like heavy rubber, which is basically um, a lot of like restraint with rubber and kind of restraining clothing and
Like the one where they're wrapped in like mummies in latex and such. Is that heavy?
yeah, that's the heavier side of it. And then there's like vac beds, which is basically a vacuum package for a human being,
Oh,
Uh,
I've never
which is
heard of that.
fun. I can attest to that. It's fun. It's basically it enhances the senses on your skin because it doesn't breathe at all. So it's basically
oh,
just you can rub up against the person who's in the back bed, and it feels amazing
oh my
inside
god.
it. And well, it's kind of fun for the other person too, because you can kind of tickle them or whip them or anything, and it's basically enhanced to the max. So
I cannot say I'm not intrigued by that.
Is
I
it
might have to try that.
is it like a bodysuit? Like that's like I know that there's plenty of say latex say fashion wear. You know, it's all very form fitting and very sexy. But like I know that there's like latex bodysuits. Is that what the vacuum seal is like?
yeah, in a way, um, those latex suits like cat suits or full body cat suits with the hood and the gloves and everything are similar in a way because it kind of feels like a second skin for a person who likes it. Other
Oh.
people get really uncomfortable because it's kind of restricting in a way. But for me, I love it because it's like a second skin. It feels like you're not wearing anything.
Okay, so I did some research prior to this, and I of course the only thing I know about latex is that you put it on, and then I really didn't know much. Okay, so that's fun to hear because I got the most thing. It's actually quite fun. One of the things that one of the articles told me is many people who are into latex are into clismaphilia, medical gloves, and catheters.
Yeah, that's a part that you some people have. For me, like I said, it's more of the fashion point and maybe the cat suits and some of
Okay.
that. But a lot of people are also into like a clinical fetish, like
Yeah,
nurses and doctors
that
and all
is.
that. Uh,
How long can one last in those? Like, do you have to like somebody in the chat had mentioned getting lubed up beforehand.
yeah, for me, like my boyfriend is more equipped with all the knowledge of how to maintain latex, but we usually wash them every time we're like um every time you've worn it, and it's like water and a little bit of um silicone
Soap?
lube,
Oh,
and you
and you
just
just kind of
dunk them
slide
in
right in.
there, and it's basically every time it's like straight up wearable right away because it's the lube kind of stuck to it in a way,
Mhm.
but it doesn't destroy the surface of the latex. Some people like to use talcum powder. I would recommend it with the hoods that go over your head, like fully over your head, because they tend to slide if there's the um, lube inside it. But then there's like the well, yeah, talcum powder is good for people whose skin get really oily and stuff like that. It protects the latex from the oils from your skin.
So the oils from one's skin can destroy or wear out its integrity faster.
Yeah, just like every kind of rubber or latex or whatever, if you put any kind of oil on it, it gets brittle. And I
Oh,
mean any
okay.
kind. Like makeup is,
A big
you
no.
really need, yeah. Y- You can have makeup on when you are wearing a latex suit, but you have to really kind of see that it doesn't touch the suit all the time
Mhm.
because it can really like destroy the latex. And yeah, um my kind of
Like
favorite thing is like restraint and stuff like that because I love straight jackets,
mhm.
and a latex straight jacket is like amazingly comfortable. It's weird. You would think that it's really uncomfortable, but it's so good. It feels so freaking good.
I yeah, no, like I can't really imagine like what would be the best way to like care for something latex? Like how would you clean it? Because I can only imagine like with all the sweat is that would happen while wearing say a latex bodysuit. You would
Yeah,
you would want to clean it.
you can wash it with you can put like a bucket of water and a couple of drops of really mild soap. That's a good way to do it, but you also have to have the lube on it or the talcum powder because sunlight is really bad for a latex suit. and all the kind of like uh, if it's not lubed up, the dust and all that that's in the air can kind of cling to it, so it can ruin a suit really fast. And yeah,
Well, like, wouldn't talcum powder be bad too? Because like, using talcum powder it sticks. It becomes, it sticks to like the body moisture and all of that jazz. Um, I can, that seems like that seems messy to me. But
yeah,
again,
it's
I don't really feel too much in latex.
that's kind of why I don't like it personally. Some people like it, some people don't. Like I personally like the silicone lube stuff more because it's so comfortable, and like it slides on the skin and it doesn't like stick anywhere or anything like that. But then some people like the talcum powder because it yeah, it kind of gets the sweat and all that, and it kind of gets clumpy in my opinion. But some people just have a thing for that. So
Can you use like starch? Because that feels fucking great on sweaty body parts.
I'm not sure, but well, it's not recommended to use kind of natural some natural things.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Because most of them probably contain
Is it?
some oil.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I would guess.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's
Yeah.
I'm seeing in the chat somebody's asking about coconut oil, and that's really bad because it's oil. It can completely ruin your clothes.
Like,
But
how does oil affect latex? Like that, other than making it brittle, like, because like coconut oil is a little different than like say corn oil or peanut oil or, even human skin oil. Like, how does
yeah,
how does it affect the latex? Is it all just the same?
it gets like tacky. There's a surface to a latex suit, and it gets kind of tacky if you use oil. So the basically the surface is completely ruined, and after that you can't um, shine the clothes or anything, and then it starts to get brittle and starts to like basically rip and all that. And usually the glues that they use on the clothes can get completely destroyed because of oil.
I can see that. Like, because, well, again, I don't really work with latex or anything like that. I don't mess with any of that. But I do like, I like leather stuff. Like, how would you compare latex to leather?
Well, latex is kind of it doesn't breathe, so you get sweaty and it's kind of it doesn't the kind of God damn it, I'm forgetting words all the time. I'm sorry. I'm Finnish, so yeah. Uh, leather to me, I love leather. So the real difference is the breathing and it's the kind of the feel of the fabric in a way. Because latex is kind of slippery and it feels like a second skin. And when you have a leather clothes, it's like thicker and it's kind of warmer in a way for me at least.
Oh,
It's kind of hard to explain.
now it's leather's made of dead animal, so I guess that might make it warmer.
Yeah. Um, I well, because I'm Finnish, I completely go to I I can go outside in a latex suit in like minus 25 Celsius.
Ah,
So which
okay.
is like a normal thing for me, but usually it's cold. It's like really cold because you're sweaty already inside it. So it's like, oh no,
That's an
not a
entirely
good
different
idea.
fetish now.
Yeah.
Freeze, freeze the latex.
Like, does temperature affect like latex differently? Because I know temperature, well, certain things can affect leather differently, like just moisture in general can affect it.
Yeah.
But how does that
Yeah.
work with latex?
Well, latex can freeze, so you shouldn't really have it in too much of a cold place. Also, you need to protect it from sunlight at all times. And then, uh,
Oh, like yeah, a rubber ball in the freezer. That just that makes it.
yeah, yeah, basically, because
Like,
it's
is
basically
latex
the
very
same
similar
stuff.
to rubber?
Yeah.
Latex and rubber are technically, it's rubber is a general term. Latex is more of a specific kind of rubber, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's like how PVC and rubber and latex, they are basically the same thing. It's just a slight percentage difference in the polyurethane and polyvinyl amounts that are in it.
Yeah,
Okay, I can see that. I can understand that much. Like,
yeah.
it's so latex is almost like a kind of plastic.
Well,
Ooh,
not.
not really. If it's
Mm,
rubber and plastic, they are quite different. Again, that's you have to add lot more.
Like I
Why are
said,
we?
I
yeah.
totally don't know I don't know jack shit when it comes to latex. Like, other than the fact that, like, you know, there's latex condoms. Like, I know of that, and I know of like latex like clothing and bodysuits and stuff like that, but I've never actually like experienced it or done anything with it. Cellophane I've done a couple of things with, and the way that you're describing latex like reminds me a lot of, like wrapping your body in cellophane. You can still kind of, it's almost like a second skin, just you
That,
can't breathe.
but that's because cellophane and is you can call it the weird cousin mix of rubber and plastic. That is what it's made to be. It's
Yeah.
made to have the consistency and material strength of plastic, but have the rubberiness of rubber.
So it's like, yeah, no, yeah. I
Welcome to
swear.
the science stream where we talk about what leather and rubber
Let's
is
talk
made
about
of.
the scientific. No. Let's talk about how much it makes our twats tingle when we use these things.
Yes.
Like, what would you say is your favorite latex experience? Like, I wanna see, like, you were talking about like the straight jacket stuff, like
Oh
how.
yeah. Um. Well, my like favorite experience probably was visiting Berlin with my boyfriend.
Oh, that's
Um.
already hard.
Yeah. We went to all of the latex stores that they have, and I tried on basically everything I could, and it was amazing. Um, then we actually bought the straight jacket from Berlin, from this store called Black Style, which is, well, it's more for men, but they have a lot of other kind of equipment, rubber restraints, um, back beds. They have all of that, and a lot of pet play things, which is
Yay!
also good. And yeah,
Okay, so
that
but yeah, when you when you go, okay, boyfriend, we're gonna have some latex fun time right now. What would you do?
I would probably put on my Peter Domini dress and my cat hood, which I got this just a couple of weeks ago, actually, which is I'm excited to wear it. Um, and then probably I would make him wear his latex cat suit that he ordered from Fantastic Rubber and his hood and probably a gas mask and put him in the straitjackets and probably torture his ass off, basically.
Okay.
So you're the dom.
In this relationship, yes.
You could do a lot of like different kinds of play with it, like you know, like how would say like sensations or sensory play like work with latex versus saying working with, you know, I have a pair of leather cuffs because I
Yeah.
love leather, and like, you know, like I know that there's different stuff, but I'm such a leather fiend.
Mm. Well, it's essentially sensory play anytime you put on a latex suit because it for the people who are really into latex, just wearing the clothes is enough to get them all excited. So there's kind of it also like enhances the skin sensitivity a lot because it's basically kind of sensory deprivation kind of thing for a lot of people. And
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
leather
Yeah.
and latex cuffs, they have this different kind of. You have to put the latex cuffs a little bit tighter because they kind of give out a little bit depending on the thickness of the latex.
Of course, it's a rubbery substance, so you can stretch it a bit.
Yeah, when it comes to like
Yeah.
leather, I know that what's it? A lot of subs that I've had, they definitely are preferable to like if they're gonna wear something leather, they're gonna, you know, I have to find a way to go harder because it almost takes in the impact
Oh yeah,
of
the
whatever I'm
kinetic
doing.
impact. That's
Hmm.
why it was so
Mm.
used. Okay, history time. That's why it's used as armor versus blunt weapons because leather is extremely good at absorbing kinetic energy.
But at the same time, like what's it? So I work at a Ren fair, and there's this booth that sells these leather corsets, and putting that on, like it almost enhanced like the feeling, and I think it has something to do with the what's it? The compression, the tightness of it, like the way that it's holding you, and because I can, if somebody hits me, you know, like I almost don't feel it. Like I can just kind of slightly feel it. But if like somebody like runs their fingers across the corset, like it's fucking glorious.
I've
Like it
actually
just
found that in any kind of corset situation personally, because that's also one of my biggest things. I love corsets. But
oh yeah, of course.
yeah, it's latex is kind of like that. Like if you wear a cat suit, it's like full body experience. Uh, well, when you're wearing a corset, it's basically usually at the upper body or the neck or some other part, just that
The
versus the
vagina.
point
Uh,
that yeah, yeah.
We
It's
don't
okay.
say
We
Ver-
such.
say vagina here.
No, no,
yeah,
no. Yes,
versus just
Yes.
the whole full body experience of a latex suit because it's like it you can just rub someone's arm and they can get all like tingly and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I see it personally.
It's a sensation enhancer. Like, so if somebody's, like, have you ever, like, do you wear this stuff too, right? Like, it's not just your
Yeah.
sub, and has do you, okay, so I'm gonna get really personal here. Do you like to get spanked?
Yeah, I am a switch,
Mhm.
so I can be a submissive if the relationship is like that for with the person, or a dominant if the yeah, depending on the conditions, like with who I'm with, or how I kind of feel.
No, I
So
can totally understand that. There's plenty of switches, but, like, wearing, say, latex and getting spanked or other thing, like, does it enhance, like, the sting factor?
yeah,
Like,
It does. I
it
have to
feels
do this.
if
definitely.
it feels better to get spanked in
Oh
latex.
my god. I have missed
Yeah,
out.
for me, yes. Like there's yeah,
So
I enjoy it. Also, the sounds are amazing.
do you know a good website I can order some from right now?
I actually recommend go like getting if you need to get something like for a beginner. There's a couple of websites that I can put up for you
Yeah, you
somewhere.
could. Yeah, just DM me.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
just slide into our
but
DMs.
if you want to like, you are going to have to spend some money. That's just how it goes. Those like the better clothes are expensive, and you really like don't go with the shitty ones. Just don't. It's a waste of money.
Now, here's a Akio had brought up ice play.
Hmm?
Talk can does ice play work? Like, how
Oh,
can you feel the different temperatures? Like, can
Yes, you
somebody
can.
through latex, like, can if somebody, say, drips hot wax on your body, can you feel that? Or if they put, like, a piece of ice right over the nipple,
I
even
would
covered in
not
masonry tight?
recommend putting hot wax on a latex suit because it doesn't come off. But
Well,
water doesn't harm the clothes. Like, um, yeah, water doesn't harm the clothes, but it also like I said, I've been outside in a latex suit in like minus 25 Celsius, which is bad. But it it gets cold, and it gets cold fast. I'm It's crazy fast. So, yeah.
well, Akio asks another question. What about
Mhm.
sizing issues? Because the best is to get it custom fitted. Well, for bodysuit. Yet, what about tips like sizes are always bigger than your normal or such? Like, do you have like sizing advice when it comes to trying to find the right kind of size latex suit or even outfit? Like,
Go to a
how does that come
store
into
and
play?
try it. Um, I have how did she say it? I think it was Ren who said that I have like humongous breasts.
mm,
So it's kind of an issue in any kind of clothes for me. So like seriously go try on things.
okay.
That's just how you should do it. Because it's also different stores have different sizes, or different companies have different sizes. So like if you really want to get like a cat suit or something like that, go for the custom one. Seriously, it's worth the money if you like it. that much.
Have you gotten a custom one before?
Um, my boyfriend, yes. He ordered a corset and a catsuit from Fantastic Rubber, which is one of the best, like best in Europe latex stores or companies, and they have a workshop in Berlin. It's kind of hard to find, but it's it's a place you should go visit. It was amazing. Like the
Well,
place
how
is
does
just
one
awesome.
like how do they take in like because what's it's like I'm definitely for going in and trying stuff on yourself, but if you have to go and get it custom, then you have to be able like if you can't be there to give them your sizing or whatever, how does like sizing work? Because like I don't have big tits. I can make it seem like I have big tits. I wear the right kind of bras, but I don't have big tits. Like I got like nice C cups.
Yeah.
But I have a nice big ass. That works. And I'm fat. Like I'm not gonna lie. I have a belly. But
So
at
do
the same
I.
time, like when it comes to corsets, it's easy for me to know the size because like they take into account like squish factor, or I should say fat factor is the harsher way to put
Fat.
it, but they call it squish factor because it's your waist size,
Fat.
and then your body can compress more because of the fact because of the fat because it's not taking into account like what your actual waist size is. So like how
Well,
does that work with latex?
latex gives out somewhat, and most companies have an like instruction for the sizing, and you should if you want to get a custom made one that you're gonna order from somewhere, go to someone who like maybe a person who makes clothes. I
Who can feel your
don't
body?
remember what the fuck is the word for that. God damn it.
Like a
Um,
tailor or a corsetier?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
someone like
yeah, it's
that.
all I always think it's better to have my body felt. I mean, and for clothing too. For when it comes to sizing my clothing too.
Yeah,
Like there's
it
only
was
so much I can
actually
tell.
one of my favorite experiences ever. Was they took all my sizes at the Fantastic Rubber place because we have like they do a customer registry kind of thing, and they measured like every inch of me. Like,
Every inch?
yeah,
Oh.
like
I mean, what?
around the neck, around the like wrists, all over. Like it was
Oh my god.
The
fun.
inner thigh?
Might
Yeah,
do it just for the
Yeah.
measuring.
Like
yeah,
just for the measure. Like did
Just
they measure by hand or by like
by hand.
feet.
And
yeah.
it was this like
I
it
mean
was
like
this
do they
like
put a measuring tape around you or do they just start groping you?
they basically just do
Grope
it
you?
like with the yeah
Yes.
technically.
No, I need to get latex now.
Oh
I
my
need to
god.
get just for the grope
Let's
factor.
have
Oh,
a late
for the
meeting
for
day.
the Americans, I really recommend a place called Latex Nemesis. They also I think they do fittings over there.
Kedon has a 7-inch clit. How do they measure that? They don't have. They just get a measuring tape if it's that big.
I
Kedon,
mean,
is
Yeah,
I
that
can't help
is
it
that
that my clit is bigger than your dick, trippy poop. Jesus. It
also
just makes it more
like
sensitive.
the fun part was like there was this one lady who was like just taking down the measurement, and the chick who was measuring me was this like really cute Canadian chick.
oh,
And I was like, holy shit! Like, god damn it! Why am I here with my boyfriend? God damn it! Though he would have just been like, oh, okay, another one. So yeah, it was fun. Also, like the funny thing was like I think German people are just crazy friendly because when we went there, I noticed there was a barbecue outside, and they were like, "Oh, we have lunchtime now, so just hey, come and eat." Like, what? Like, really? Yeah, just come over here. Like, okay. Those were the most delicious grilled tomatoes I've ever eaten. Like, holy shit.
Did it taste like latex and anger?
No.
I've seen some German stuff that makes me go, oh,
Yeah, their
okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. But it's kind of cuz I have to tell this story cuz like okay, base basic thing, Finnish people are not really talkative or like affectionate usually. We're kind of shy and quiet people. So in Berlin, at this sex store that like sells latex like fashion stuff, I tried on this dress that I ended up actually buying, and this like I was like, oh fuck, this is not gonna fit me, and I tried it on and almost started crying because it didn't fit me, and this store clerk just she came in there, took me out of the booth, and put the dress on me, and I was freaking naked in like the middle of the store
Well,
suddenly, and she's like, "This is gonna fit you. Don't be like that. Like, do you want to try this on with the shoes?" And she's starting to go get the shoes, and I'm like, "Can you just at least zip me up? God damn it!" Like, yeah, that was the craziest thing ever. Like, I was like, "Okay, this is a culture shock."
Oh,
Eh.
you should never meet me because I'm very like I try and be a little more cognizant, but I'm a very affectionate, like touchy kind of person. Like that's just what I do. Like
that's the
that's
best way. When I give a hug to a friend, I always just grab that junk and shake it.
right. Like no, when I like I love one of my favorite things that I'll do with my friends is I'll go in for a hug and just like grope their ass.
Yeah, I do the same thing. You have to.
Right? You have to. It's
Yeah.
like it's a
Yeah,
thing. You have to feel like you have to make them feel like, yes, I
that's
love this
probably
ass.
why this guy from this American band didn't get like shell shocked because I accidentally squeezed his ass once, like accidentally.
I never.
Accidentally?
Yeah, accidentally.
No, it's
I
never
accident.
yeah, quote unquote.
I accidentally
Yeah,
fingered him. I couldn't help it. I just. Oh, my fingers just slipped up there. There's nothing to
yeah,
do.
that's like Annie at 15.
Now I wanna like put on like a latex outfit and just go and hug people. Just
Oh my
rub
god.
up against them, like pretend like I can only imagine because the way you described it, I can only imagine that's like being on ecstasy because like your sensations and your sense of touch are just enhanced and now I just kind
it's
of like
That's.
it's the
rub,
most
I want to
one
get
fun when there's like the both people are wearing latex because you can just pour on some lube and just rub up against each other.
as long as like there's no latex that goes like I won't I don't think I could wear something latex where it's like actually during sex because it might ruin sex for me.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you and say hi, Ishtar.
Oh, hi Ishtar.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Hey,
You're not doing
hello.
the British thing. Be British.
If you'd like me to, I will be British for you, Kadant. Anything to make you
Yeah.
happy.
Yay.
Accents.
Ah, I'm
Okay.
surrounded by accents. Like you guys have no idea. Like oh gods, yes. I'm American, so I have like a very plain like yeah, normal kind of voice and when I hear accents like it makes my loins feel like they're wrapped in latex.
So I had a fun idea, considering both you and me gropes asses when I go to California and we hang out, all of us
Mhm.
and such. If we give each other a hug and just never stop groping ass? Do you think the others will be awkward and go away?
They'll try and join. Are you like? Well, I'll have to let go of your ass at least with one hand, just to
Oh.
smack the boys away. Because no, mine.
I think,
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I think that's a
Claim to that
brilliant
shit.
idea myself.
Yeah, I'm
But-
actually a little bit not a typical Finnish person, but like
You're a lot more
I
gropey.
yeah, I like to hug my friends, and they're like at these random moments a few of my good friends we maybe do this like a train or something, just groping each other randomly. It's a thing.
It's
So.
fun. You have to
Yeah, it
hug
is.
your friends.
Also, like that's the best way to like randomly like shock everyone around you in Finland. Like everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? Like
So,
yeah.
Ishtar,
Yes,
have you
darling.
any experience, Ishtar, Ish love? Have you any experience in the world of latex?
I can honestly say no, I haven't.
Well,
You're missing out.
I am
Yeah.
sad. Have you any experience with cellophane? Because apparently it's similar.
No, I haven't tried that either. Mostly because A, I can't afford the latex and I don't use cellophane.
what about
So-
rock wool? No, okay.
The closest I've gotten is to like a rubber glove at work.
Yes, I do. Okay, not at work. I don't. Okay, wait. A couple of times.
Wait,
Doesn't
what?
matter. Continue. What about leather, Ishtar? You sound like a leathery girl.
Yeah.
Leather outfit, no, but a pair of I have some really nice like calf-high boots that are made of
Oh.
leather, and I love
Oh.
wearing them. They feel so good. And I
I
just
have a
bought
leather
a
flopper.
oh, I bet that feels lovely. And I just
Mhm.
bought a corset that's being made for me that has leather lining all around the neck and the chest. And again, it just feels so nice against the skin.
Oh yeah. I fucking you guys like have no idea. I fucking love leather.
Oh,
Like
for
it's
fuck's
so
sake, Danielle! Don't take my joke
serious about
seriously.
latex.
Oh,
You
latex
silly
is
Mexican! Stop taking my
like-
joke seriously. Don't send me your address. For fuck's sake.
Let me guess, it's Darnell.
Yeah, it's Danielle.
Of course
No
it's Darnell,
surprise
because
there.
Darnell's a thirsty little fucking 12-year-old.
Yeah, he
Go
is.
play with your Legos, Darnell. What are you
Yeah.
doing? This is adult time.
Crawl back into your drug tunnel and play with your Legos.
Ladies,
I can-
he
I can
needs an
send-
ladies, he needs an education for the future so he knows what to do properly. That's why he's here.
Well, not
Ish.
when he's
We can all be
Some people are
arrested.
precocious.
We can all be arrested for having him here. He's on
I can send Darnell some Lego butt plug instructions if you want.
love that.
Yes, he would.
Love a
That
Lego
is
butt plug.
Could
Pet
you
play?
imagine
water sports, Lego. That's all he wants.
clenching too hard around that and just having it crumble apart while
Oh,
it's inside
shit, That
you?
would be bad.
That is a
No.
nightmare just waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So ish, friend.
Yes, love.
That's it. I'm done. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Go
Okay,
Oh,
so-
for the leather people, there's a store in Amsterdam called Breath Catchers, and the guy who runs it is fucking amazing. Like, we went there, and he tried on a corset that he had in like close to my size, and he was like, "Okay, that's like 10 centimeters off there and 10 more here," and just looked at me and was like straight up like, "Okay, this is how much this needs to change to fit you." And I'm like, "Okay, like this is interesting." And I got the corset and it's perfect.
Okay.
It's
It is
I
it is
whenever
amazing.
I go like if I'm gonna get like a corset or most any leather stuff, like that's why I love the Ren Fair. Like there's quite a like a good handful of booths. Like well, Bullseye doesn't really have uh like a lot of like leather stuff in that aspect, but they have some really like they have these cute fucking tails.
Uh,
And like like you go to a fucking there's a mask booth, you know, with leather masks that are fucking amazing and glorious. And then there's there's Tower of London that they're the ones with the leather corsets. I
Mhm.
love their leather corsets. They're so freaking like
I've
Okay,
they're
I've
these
heard of them.
oh
I'm gonna
the
jump
Tower
in
of London.
right here and say I think we talk enough about shopping right now. So I would like
I'm
us to
sorry. I
go
can't help it.
go on to another subject, so we can go more into the fetish and sex part instead of the where to buy. You know,
Oh yes, that is true. I'm
yeah.
just
So
gonna show the Ren Fair one more time. No, I'm joking. Well, no, that's the thing. What's it? The booth? Uh, uh, the last one with the leather course. It's Tower of London, at the Northern Ren Fair. They that's where you can get like the leather cuffs, and they're like lined with this fur, and
oh my
it's
god.
so soft and so nice, and you can right, and they have these like little tickle whips too.
Okay, how much are
They're
they? Can you send me some? I'll send the money. Just
I will. I will.
okay.
I will go shopping for you
And for
while I'm at
now,
the Ren Fair.
we're gonna jump on to another topic. And so, Annie, let's stay close.
Mm,
You
yeah.
choose what do you want to talk about, pegging or shibari?
Shibari.
I'm down for
I mean,
discussing Shibari.
Okay.
so you have no
Okay.
choice. You are asked no choice, but we are voting. We want to talk about getting tied up.
Tied up. Yeah. Um.
Yes.
So, like I said, I'm a switch. So I'm also a rope bunny and a rigger. So yeah.
So,
Wait, explain that to
uh,
me.
that was what I was about to ask. Is explain that.
Yeah. So usually, the people who like to get um, tied up are called rope bunnies, or well, there's a lot of names for that. And riggers are the people who tie them up, usually.
I never
And
knew I was a rope bunny. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Can we get you ears and a little bunny tail?
Yes.
Aw,
I want to.
that would
No,
be
no.
so cute.
I need to find me a dirty rigger.
Goddamn dirty rigger! Get off my porch, you porch rigger!
Porch rigger.
I'm so sick of porch riggers everywhere.
Oh
Quick,
God.
where's Zell? Where's Zell?
You fucking dirty rigger!
Like
Yeah.
just I want to cuz I know shibari is definitely considered an art. I've watched I've watched a shibari demonstration before, and it seems so um tight
Amazing.
and sensual, and I was just like, I don't know which role I would want to do, because I've never really been a sub, but I've been like, you know, getting into that mindset of like, maybe I should give it a try. I just need to find myself a right dom, and now I'm like, oh, shibari, getting tied up, maybe I just need to find myself a fucking sand rigger.
A sand rigger! We have a
Like
bean rigger
Yeah.
in chat.
a peanut. No, but like it seems it watching it, like just watching it, you know, like it was just the most it looked like one of the most sensual things, because like the guy was going slow, and then he would whisper in her ear, and he would like
Mm.
be asking her like, and then he'd readjust the rope as needed or desired or whatever, like depending on her mood. And it was like, what is it like to get tied up in shibari? Because
What
I
do you
have
think
I have my
I
but
spent a year in Japan doing?
Well,
fucking
it
chinky eyed
depends.
riggers.
Yeah, fucking chink riggers.
it depends a lot on the rigor, because other people like to uh, do the practical bondage with the ropes, which is usually a little bit more boring.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
not
there's
fun.
like Shibari artists who are who do the artistic knots and do the whole show kind of thing, or a session. And then there's like different kinds of sessions, because you can also like inflict pain with the ropes or just have it be enjoyable.
Yeah, no, the one that I watched, like he had gotten her tied up, and then he started hoisting her so that she was
Uh,
floating in a certain way, and her body, like one leg was in like this one unique position, and the other leg was like being suspended in another position, and then he goes to start tying rope around her hair so that like her head was
mm,
suspended in like a separate respect. And I know that when you pull hair, like if you pull it just right, it's fucking amazing. Oh, I love getting my
yeah,
hair pulled. But I don't
yeah.
know how that would work with like because it's rope. So like wouldn't like little individual strands get caught or something? But she seemed to be floating in heaven. Pun intended.
Yeah, it's for probably the most accurate description I can say about being tied up is like it's one massive hug. Like
Oh
it
my god.
feels like somebody's holding you. So like suspensions usually have a painful side to them, because your whole body weight is on the rope, and it is. I shouldn't look at the chat while I'm talking. Um, it
AP
is.
taking notes, you see. Hi, AP.
Yeah,
What's going on? Wait, is it my
AP is
AP
taking notes. Yeah.
or is it
It's
American Phoenix?
no, it's AP.
It's
AP.
my baby boy. Hi, honey. Hey, honey. How you
Okay.
doing?
Couldn't wanna share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry. No, what's going on in the chat? Like I can't see it right now. I had to close my
It's
I
just
had to close
AP's
my
taking
language.
notes. Go on.
Oh,
He says to continue, so let's continue.
good
Yeah,
boy.
it
Good
is.
boy.
Yeah, suspensions I will not recommend to anyone who's starting out, because they are kind of, yeah, they're difficult in a way, because you
It
need
seems
to
to me like
really focus on what you're doing, and while you're being suspended, you need to be able to communicate everything to the rigger, you know, like clear way, because if
Fucking
something
Riggers.
hurts too
They already
much,
steal so much.
it it's probably cutting off some nerves or blood vessels.
it does seem like suspension would be a very easy way to hurt yourself inadvertently if you're inexperienced.
Yeah, it is, and I've been dropped from being suspended, which is not a good thing.
Oh.
Especially when you have your hands tied up, yeah, behind your back. So not a good thing. But then there's like you should try like start out really like soft in a way. Like start out with just having your hands tied or something like that. Be slow, because if there's any kind of chance you're gonna get a panic attack or something like that, you can actually hurt yourself really bad. Because yeah, it's a lot different than having cuffs on, because
It,
usually cuffs can you can get them off really fast.
Shibari seems so
But
involved that when something goes wrong, it's going to go very wrong, and it's
that's
not something
why
you can.
you don't rush it. You don't. It has to take its time unless you're with like if you are with a super experienced one, you want to still take it slow because if you're new to it and that guy is or girl is experienced as a dirty trigger, not a trigger. I'm thinking about guns. Okay,
Ringer.
I'm about to say nigger.
Yeah.
Dirty rigger. Yeah. Then
Yeah, they might not be in tune with you enough to notice if something's going bad. That's kind of
it's
how
like
I would.
when you're going to choking. It's the same thing. You have to trust. You have to practice with the person.
Yeah. Also, like funny thing, I personally love to do the like proper like shibari or kimbaku kind of thing.
Yeah.
And usually my favorite thing to do is cut off their airway
Oh yeah.
because if you do it
Now we're talking.
right, it's actually like really sensual and gets the person to a proper subspace in their head. So,
Oh my
yep,
god.
it's fun. By the way, Lo-Fi, I'm coming to Denmark in August.
Okay.
And right
So,
there, she clears her entire calendar for a week
August
and
is
stocks up on rope.
free.
yeah,
I
but
think
yeah, I personally recommend doing it with someone who's experienced at first and starting out really slow. Like rather just do like a show, like a harness or something, and don't have your hands tied, or get your hands tied uh, in front of you or something like that, and then like go like further from that slowly, not like not straight to a suspension, because that's usually how accidents happen.
that is true. That's it's just in every all of these fetishes like we talked about last time with the BDSM. It's just you just don't rush anything. You have
You have to work your
Always
way up to it.
Yes,
Mm.
always start off soft with light play. And always find somebody. It's about the trust. It's about finding people you can trust. That's the
Yeah,
main thing.
yeah.
ironically, I always tell people like don't do what I did, which is basically I went to like a convention called Sexhibition. I got spanked by one of our like most hardcore like masters that I know with a tool called shambok, which is basically an African riot defense kind of. It's a rubber like stick, a long rubber stick, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And then I got 4 needles put in my arm,
Jesus
like under
Christ.
the skin, and yeah,
Oh, that's
that
Shambok. That looks painful.
Well, the
yeah,
thing is though, like if he's supposed to be a master, like you know, when it comes to
yeah,
doms,
but
like the
like
right kind of doms, they need to know your limits, and they need to know how hard they like. If he's just going at you like full force with stuff like that, like he's not a good dom.
he didn't start with that. That's not how it went, but I went like to the deep end personally, because well, he started slow, but I was like, yeah, go for it, like whatever you want to do, like go for it, because I felt like so it was a rush, like yeah, and I had bruises that were like size of a football on both my uh, buttocks,
So you
and
learned real
yeah,
fast.
Yeah,
Real,
I learned
real
fast.
fast.
Ironically, I had known him since I was 13, I think, which is kind of weird. But we happen to
just
live in
maybe a
the
little.
same area.
So
So,
what does
yeah.
Kadant subs needs to know the not not Kadant subs, that's not your name. Subs need to know the limit too. Some push too hard too fast. Yes, Antoine, that's right.
Hello,
Yeah.
Everyone,
Antoine.
Yes.
it counts from both ends.
Antoine's a good dog. He's a good boy.
I
We
feel
might
like
be
he should
pushing
be
him
it.
too hard at the moment, ladies, in
I
DMs, because
feel
we're basically raping him at this point.
I feel like
Mm.
Antoine actually belongs in here far more than I do.
Yeah, but I didn't want to invite him twice. That feels like I'm favoring him.
No. It's always good to have Antoine come again
That's true.
and
Well,
again.
was that intended to that be loaded, or was that just a happy accident?
Well, I mean,
Both.
we gotta get that load out there, right?
Hmm.
8 times 3. Okay, let's write that in chat.
The last thing the poor man needs right now is an SRH. So
Says who?
have a little pity, Kadant.
Why? I'm
I'll let
I'm
you
here to
know when I
push limits.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Antoine is a good dom, and then they say he's being raped. Yeah, that's a good dom. That's
Yeah.
how. That's
We're turning you into our sub, Antoine. You're gonna be our sub as well as a dom.
by the end of this month, you're the one
And
on your knees staying
join
locked
us,
up.
witches.
At the
Join us.
I
at
hope
the
you
end
like
of
water
this,
sports. We're
at the
gonna
end of
drown
this,
you.
you'll have no choice but to be like, yeah, no, I'm apparently a switch. Didn't know it until all these girls dominated me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But since you guys wanted to go to a
I do, I
sectier
do,
kind of thing,
hmm
I do have a quick question.
mm?
Where, for those on the chat who have tried Shibari, what was your first experience?
Yeah, actually,
First,
what was your first experience with Shibari?
I'm
Like,
trying to remember.
were you the dirty rigger, or were you the
Oh, I definitely got tied up personally the first time. I think it was with my like with a guy um at a party, I think, and it was just a harness thing.
Oh,
Now, what kind
Um,
of rope though? What kind of that's something that Lo-Fi was discussing. I know that nylon can be really nice and soft, or cotton. Hemp is just horrendous on hemp is terrible.
no, if you treat it right, it doesn't. It's not as bad. No.
Okay.
Personally, I use jute, which is a natural fiber. Uh, I unless you have a skin condition, I recommend the natural fibers because they feel better and they need to
Okay,
be treated. They need to be oiled and washed. So,
so would you prefer like a natural cotton or a different natural fiber?
I like jute or hemp personally.
Oh, okay.
Um, but like some people, I can understand the cotton or wool kind of thing because it's well, it's a lot softer,
Hmm.
but it's yeah,
So your favorite is the ute.
yeah. I actually have these ropes that I got from a professional dom, and they are like amazingly soft, even though they are jute, because they've been used so long that they've gotten like really nice and they feel really good on your skin. So
What was it like? If not your first time, one of the first times you can remember. Like, how did that come about? You know, like were you just was it something a dom had suggested to you or
I think, like I said, I think my first time was a party that like we have these clubs here, and like parties. It's like every other month or every month, depending on the year, really, and how we get the places. But uh, I think I randomly just saw someone getting tied up, and I was like, yeah, I want to try that. Like, asked a person. Um, After
How did
which I dated the guy for a while, and he actually, this one I need to tell this one because I really want to embarrass the shit out of him, because he deserves it. The first time at my own apartment, I like he had tied me up on the bed, and I was like completely naked and all of that. And he just randomly stopped and asked me like, "Oh, I forgot to ask you what you want." And that killed the mood immediately. I was like, "I want out of these ropes and you out of my apartment." Like, no. Like he's, oh god. That was such a mood killer.
that seems like something that should be asked at the beginning, is that correct?
right? Like if you know what you're
Yeah, and
doing,
if you're not even
always
going to
tell her.
ask, you have to like really like just do it. Not don't if don't stop the whole thing if you're like in the middle of it. Like what? What?
You have to kill the mood, just spank someone and go, do you like getting spanked after you slap them? Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
I'm tired.
And for future reference, no, no, I don't like getting spanked. I don't like. I am very anti-masochistic. The closest to pain that I like is just slide your hands right up to the base of my skull, and then go ahead and yank that hair like right the
See,
fuck
that
off there.
doesn't work with me. My hair, you can take it, you can just tie it to a car, and you can drive the car. I have no feelings in my skin in the top of my head.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
you're
But if you
lucky.
I personally like I start purring like a cat if someone pulls my hair. So
My
it's
hair pulled the right way makes my kitty
yeah,
drool.
Of course,
yeah. Also,
if
I
you're,
like to be bitten.
I
yeah.
Like
can't.
especially my like back of my neck. I have a tattoo that's
Hmm.
like the heart from Marilyn Manson's "Eat Me, Drink Me"
Yeah.
album, and it's like a bullseye. It's basically like bite here,
This
like
right here. This is where you put
this
your
this
mouth.
yeah, this is the place.
Oh,
See, I
perfect.
can't I can't get bitten like hard. I don't mind like nibbles and the grazing and like maybe the slightest amount of pressure. But like I don't I don't do pain for myself.
Oh,
Now, dishing out pain on the other
Mhm.
hand, I'm more than willing, but again, like I'm trying I'm
you
careful about how much I give.
a couple of days ago, Kadan wrote exactly what I want. Like my biggest fetish in the world, and she perfectly nailed it. It's fucking amazing.
I mean, I and honestly, that was just a guess. Like from what I've gotten to know
Nice.
from you, like that's just a guess. Like I don't know. I'm this is a
It's funny
yeah.
how other people can read you. Like I actually I had to go through a lot of therapy because I was really depressed when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and I found out that I had a diagnosis for being sadomasochistic.
They actually diagnosed something like that. I didn't know that.
They used to. They used to. It got out of the listings a couple of years ago in Finland. Also, fetishists and transvestite was taken off the list the same year.
Oh my
But
god.
Interesting.
back when I was a kid, it was actually in the list of diagnoses that you can get, and I actually had a diagnosis for being sadomasochistic, which was like,
They give you
holy shit.
like they
Just
give
a
you a
head,
paper and yes,
just a heads up, because I'm driving home. So if I cut in and out, I apologize now.
no worries.
It's okay.
But
Don't cry.
so do they give you like a paper and then this way like if people go, "So, what are you into?" You just hand them the paper and it's like, "Okay, you sadomasochist,
Paper?
gotcha." Yeah.
I I make a
It's
blueprint at work of exactly what I want. With steps and how to
yeah,
build. It looks like IKEA
it's just like
furniture.
if I would have to like list everything that I like, it would be probably like the size of a normal building's wall.
See,
So like
I have very
no.
simplistic tastes in general, but there's a couple of things that I keep off the list just in case. Because I don't want people to really truly know some of the shit that can get me off. Because
Yeah,
that can scare future prospects and I let like if they do wind up knowing, I let them know like no. It's okay. I'm very good about permissions. Like that if you don't want it, I don't push it. I don't push my shit like what I want onto a sub. Like that's never been my
yeah.
thing.
There has to be kind of a in the beginning of a mm, BDSM relationship or a DS relationship or any kind of like any kind of this kind of situation that you can have,
Mhm.
you have to really like talk about what you want and what you like, and then start trying and just go slow. Like in everything, go slow. Because if you go full on like something like just pain play or something like that, you'll be royally fucked if something goes wrong. Like
Mhm.
I've actually I have some bad experiences too. Um, when I
Yeah, so
was 20, I had to get certain places stitched up back together
Oh
because of
shit.
a,
Wow.
a asshole master person,
A,
a
a guy who
sadist.
a sadist who pretended like he was a dom.
Um, no, he was straight up sadist. I knew that, but like I had no experience back then. So
You didn't know what your limits were or how to convey them.
yeah, and
And
that's like
he didn't care to try and explore them. It sounds
mm, yeah.
like he
He
just went
actually
full
got
force.
convicted for assaulting two underage girls, or two that I know of. Some people claim it's eight, but yeah.
wow.
Oh dear
Jesus.
Lord.
What
So
about
like seriously, you can fuck up in these kind of situations.
yeah, don't people are assholes. Some people are. It's be really careful. I have two burn marks I would ever be scarred of because of some cunt.
Yeah,
I
no.
actually have burn marks from one of my birthdays because I had this like all my kinky friends over,
Oh, I
and they
thought you were just
decided
bad at blowing
to
out cakes.
pour pour all the candle like birthday
Oh,
candles on me, and I still have this one mark under my breast, still there.
yeah, it's
But
not
it's
fun.
kind of yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, but not when you're permanently scarred now. And
See,
oh my god, it got
this is why
infectious as fuck.
this is why
There's
if
a difference getting like marked accidentally when you're having fun, and then getting scarred for life. Like seriously.
Unless
that's
scarring is something that you are into and find appealing.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Some people like it,
Mhm.
but others like I personally wouldn't
But
do
that's
it.
one of the things that, like, if you've never been into any of this world and you're reduced, if you want to try it out and you know of someone who does who claims, at least claims, to be in this world, get to really fucking know them. Take your time before you agree to anything at all with them, because it can whole fucking shit fest. Like, it's never a good thing. Like, I've met subs who, well, be subs who are like, "Oh, I'm
Mm.
interested in finding a dom," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "All right, let's get to know each other," and get to know them, and I'm like, "You're not a sub. You have no clue as to what a sub is. You don't even know what you want. You just want me to experiment on you, and that's not what I want from a sub, like, at all.
Yeah,
I want a sub who.
we call the kind of subs
Mhm.
you were describing on the other show, like with
Mhm.
the list of things that they like.
Mhm.
That we call them shopping list subs here,
Yeah.
and other people don't like that. But then, like personally, it's so much easier.
It's better
It's
to have
so
a
much
shopping
easier
list
than finding out.
because, like, it's definitely better to have a shopping list sub. In my opinion, like, I'd rather deal with a sub like Lo-Fi than a sub like the
Yay!
guy who tried to claim he was a sub, because he's just like, well, I don't know. I guess you could just do whatever you want to me, and we'll figure it out. I'm like, no, I'm not here to, like, that's like, we've been talking for like 2 months.
I don't have time for that.
I should have an idea. I should have an idea. Like, you should have an idea as to what intrigues you or doesn't intrigue you. Like, you should at least have an idea, other than, like, just uh do whatever you want to me. Because what if I want to what if I want to take a blade and just mark you in various different places, starting with your inner thigh? And then you like, and he's like, "Well, I don't know, I don't think so. I like knives." No, that doesn't count. I don't
I
care if
like
you like
guns.
knives.
Shoot
I
me,
love
fucking moron.
like I like knives too. I can take pleasure in knife pain. But
Mm. But
knife,
there's
if
different
you
knife play too. Like it's
exactly, like,
not
running
about,
a
yeah,
Anyway,
it's not necessarily about cutting or
yeah.
stabbing. Like, if you say, "Oh, well, I like knife play." Okay, which kind? Like, what? Give me your fucking limits.
I
Like,
like
don't
Yeah,
to
just
how
say
knife
you
far
like
do
out
you
knife
go?
play. Just be
Mm.
like, "Yeah, no, bring a knife out and do whatever the fuck you want with me with it."
You
Okay, shake, shake,
stab
shake,
me.
shake, shake, shake. Like,
Oh
no, that's
God,
not, like,
I
no.
Hold me up a
I
knife point and take
actually,
my money.
me and my boyfriend visited the Helsinki knife show a couple of months ago, and I'm
Mhm.
serious. I've never been that wet, like never. That was like, oh my God, so beautiful. God damn it. My
Here's my
boyfriend's like,
paycheck. Just take it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't need to pay rent. I don't
Food is
give a fuck.
optional.
Right, you
It
don't need
was,
food when you have a dick full of cum.
it was so like, oh my God. A beautiful knife can go very far.
It is excellent bribery.
Yeah. But then, yeah, there's different kinds of things that you can do. Like,
Kadant,
my
I'm
boyfriend
gonna two
had,
seconds interrupt because Kadant is dropping out. Her PC is dying. So bye, Kadant.
bye.
Okay,
Bye.
but sorry, I'm so sorry. I would to be away.
her,
You are
pro-
you
her
are
programming.
roboting so hard.
She is. Oh my god,
The
she's doing a.
Terminator could take
Can you
So,
hear
over.
me?
Yes.
All right, sorry. Bye, guys.
Bye.
bye.
God
Bye.
damn it. I'll haunt the chat.
Perfect. See you around, Kadant.
Thank you.
Poor thing.
That was really
Okay.
impressive, though. Maybe the computer didn't make those noises. It sounded like her programming was dying, and she's get on this a sex robot. Everything
She
is
was
explained.
She was glitching out so hard.
Everything just was explained now. We have 15 minutes left before I am ending the stream.
Okay.
Well, don't you have one
Uh,
more topic to talk about?
We can
yes,
if we
we
want
do,
to.
but we have
Yeah.
a question from Antoine.
Oh, yeah.
He's asking if I like rape play. I have rape fantasies, but rape play isn't something that I've tried ever. Like, I don't think it would be safe to try it. The fantasies are there, but they're just that, basically.
Fantasies are fantasies. They may not necessarily translate over to what you really enjoy.
Yeah. But yeah, pegging was the other subject that I promised to talk about.
Yeah, because I'd never tried that.
Define
I'm a guy.
define pegging for me, because I'm not familiar with it.
It is anal sex that involves usually a female, uh, basically
Strap
sucking
on.
a man in the ass with a strap on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the actual term for it.
Yeah,
Nice.
there is. There's actually pegging can be either it can be kink related or it can be actually quite vanilla.
I tried
in a
to
way.
watch some research on pegging, and I saw some horribly sized things go into some very small men.
That's
Did you
not
need
just
really.
bleach? Did
that.
you need bleach for your eyes there?
I was, when you see a horror movie, you hold your eyes and then you cannot stop, so you open it. I was like, that's impressive. I'm scared. That's what I
Yeah.
said I was doing, but and I couldn't stop. And oh my god, and,
That's
oh,
called morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't say that's gonna. It's not realistic in a way, because there's a well, not all guys are size queens, which is a term that we use for people who like to get like massive things into their
Destroyed.
ass.
I just think I found
Yeah.
the wrong series of videos to watch, because it
Yeah.
was every single one was just from regular to wow.
You should have asked me. I could have linked you some better things. Yeah.
It must be impressive to have startled lo-fi.
Oh, it looked like she parked a car up there at the end.
I've seen. Do you guys know who Buck Angel is?
No.
Well, he's a female to male porn star.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a man with a pussy. And I've seen
that.
him. Well, fist a guy who was like.
It's the big tall guy, right? With the muscly with tattoos everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Know him. Yes.
I've seen him shove his arm. You can see his arm in the picture. Up a guy who was like so much smaller than he was. Like, holy shit.
It must require hours of preparation to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
What, a one punch?
Like just getting anything bigger than a finger usually takes work. You need to basically relax the muscles.
That is the hardest
part.
To
the feeling.
The hardest part, because if you don't practice for long enough, at some point you start clenching again, and then you have to basically start from the beginning again, and like, 1, 2, 3, 4, fist.
Yeah. Um, Luckily, I have small hands, so like our biggest butt plug is small, like bigger than my hands. Um, so like I'm usually if someone wants to get fisted at a party, people are like for the first time or whatever, and they're like always like Annie, come here. Like, God damn it, not
You
again.
keep referencing parties, and I heard you say something about how this is like a monthly thing. Is this like a club or something, or is it just a group of friends who have similar tastes?
There are like regional BDSM groups in Finland. There's
Oh.
SMFR, which is around the Helsinki, Espoo, this area, and
Hmm.
the capital city area. Then there's Ärsike, which is in Tampere, and then there's Pisare, which is in Jyväskylä, and then there's OSM, which is the Oulu area, and then there's Baletti, which is around the Turku and that area, kind of.
So it is like
So
a club
yeah, it's
with
like a
like
club,
do's and
and
rules and that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah, and
Oh.
then there's they have the parties. The SMFR parties are usually like every other month, and then there's like the other parties are in between those, and then Jyväskylä has these like bigger things that
Hmm.
are like twice a year, and they are like extremely like there's a dress code and everything.
What was
Um,
your first experience with pegging?
my current boyfriend, uh, he introduced me to a podcast called Peking Paradise
Hmm.
by Ruby Ryder, and I kind of got curious about it because I love anal play.
Yes.
So of course it was a logical step to take in this situation, and I think it was in the first 2 months that we were dating that he was like, "Could you like try this?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, why not?" Like that's kind of my my general rule is you can try everything once and twice to make sure if you don't like it or like it, kind of. So I tried that, and now it's one of my like main things. I love it. It's so much fun, and
What
it's
what is the appeal of it?
it's the power, kinda, because usually the female gets to do the role of the man in that situation, and for me, it's the power and the feeling of like getting to be the guy for once in a way. Because I
That makes sense.
also I love gender bending, so it's kind of it, yeah. I liked it so much the first time, and ever since I actually made a strap-on belt myself, and yeah,
Impressive.
yeah, it's I like to do crafts, so it was kind of a thing that I wanted to try. And we have this crafting circle called Crafting Horse, which is
Okay.
basically
I love the name.
Yeah.
yeah, it's basically a group of girls who are into BDSM, doing different kind of crafts and trying different kind of things. We're planning on doing a gag um workshop and probably a like a paddle workshop and all kind of like that. And yeah, we had a strap-on workshop like a couple months ago, and I ended up making this strap-on that we kind of, the working title is Minnie Mouse strap-on.
The Minnie Mouse.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's like I use this red fabric that has polka dots on it,
Ah,
so
okay.
it's like it's
I
cute
can
as
only think huge ears when I hear Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. I was like, that's gonna be fucking terrifying to get up.
it's
It's
Disney's
really
new
cute.
line of merchandise. Dildos
Yeah.
with giant ears.
Oh no. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I am
And
gonna say we end for now. So we started a little earlier. So we're gonna end now. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks to Ishtar.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks to Annie. Thanks for joining.
It was nice talking to you, Annie.
nice talking to you guys too.
It was learned a lot. Definitely gonna check out the latex stuff. Got sent pictures of the vacuum thing by Trippy Poop.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, because that looks fucking amazing. So yeah, super. And thanks to Kadant, who's gone now. We miss her. She's
Yeah,
so
it got much
Yeah.
quieter without Kadant.
yeah, it did. And her salt.
Unfortunately, she got assaulted by Brock Lesnar again. So, or her computer got whatever.
A plane crashed into the computer.
Yeah.
Hate it. Fucking. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining. It was super fun.
It was.